Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Phil from Zaid Comics. I'm the writer and co-creator of Magic Hop, which is in demand on Indiegogo, and the upcoming comic, The Lost Pages, launching the 29th of May, and just one half of the two best-looking brothers in all of comics. And today, we have a good friend of mine, Preston Asevedo, talk here again to talk about Doc Salem. This is your third time, brother, coming on here.
Yeah, I like this show.
Thanks, man. Yeah, thanks for coming on. It's always a pleasure having you. And we're back to talk about Doc Salem once again. And you are funded now.
Yes,
which is awesome. And yeah, off your ride on the success of your last book, Rockabilly Road Trip, and you're back for some sweet monster fun with Doc Salem.
So I ended Rockabilly Road Trip kind of early, like it was in demand, but then it's a lot of work. Of course, that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like keeping up with both, with these campaigns and shit. So I ended that one early so I can concentrate more on Salem and also get pages done for other people, covers and art and stuff like that, because running campaigns takes me away from doing my actual work to make money. So, but right now, I mean, Rockabilly's in fulfillment. Like everything's pretty much boxed up. I want to check over everything one last time to make sure that I'm not double mailing anything out, or or I forgot to put something in there and I have to mail it out again and stuff like that. The records are coming out next week. They should be here, so I'll be able to the vinyl picture disc. So that's wrapped up. That's about to be wrapped up completely. And
dude, that's gonna be awesome. And like once people start getting those books and posting them up on Twitter, it's just an awesome feeling seeing those.
Yeah, and I'm excited about it. That's the only part of this that seems like work. Is to actually mail it out. Like everything else is just it's a roller coaster. It's badass.
Man. Dude, and look at that Doc Salem shirt you got. That was pretty badass itself.
Pushing the merch.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Thanks to 6 a.m. for the little Doc Salem caricature. Right there.
Oh yeah.
I love
that. Now people could get that right now. They can buy that shirt.
Absolutely. Teespring, Doc Salem's Cabinet of Horrors on Teespring. Nice. And it's really available cool on there with a bunch of other merchandise. Also the Death by Tentacles t-shirt. And it's a blast, dude. I love merchandise.
Yeah, no, I think that's a lot of where that's where a lot of where like Comicsgate is going now. We've been around for a while putting these books out, and now people are putting merch out. And Ethan's talking about doing statues. Other people, Sweens has a statue on his campaign you were able to get for Oddity, and it's just like the comic industry or any other pop culture industry where you have these iconic characters and you want to represent them and have them in different forms of media and physical items, which is amazing.
Yeah, and that's fantastic. Like I was in talks with somebody, like they started designing a Doc Salem action figure, and for some odd reason they dropped off on it. I got to get back with that dude. I was trying to get it done for this campaign, but it looks like I might have to wait until the next Doc Salem campaign to go ahead and get it done. There's only so much you can do, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know this, of course, with Magic Hop and the Lost Pages and all that kind of stuff. Like, but like everybody should know that Tug just put out he put out his book, last night. That's on his birthday. I want everybody to know too that me, the Literature Devil, and Brian Christgau with Six Gun Gorilla are doing a crossover that's going to be kicked off in this issue of Doc Salem. So,
oh sweet, man. Yeah, I'll scroll down to that. That's really cool. I love crossovers and people teaming up.
It's so cool to do it in this universe too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really dig that. And that's the full color finished cover for the it's actually a stretch goal cover for Doc Salem. And yeah, it's pretty badass. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly crossover. 2 gunslingers and a mad doctor. You know, what more could you want?
That's so cool. Now, I wanted to ask you, you've been on here before. We talked about Doc Salem, but where does like the idea and kind of design of Doc Salem come from? What are some of your inspirations that pulled together into this character, and where did that all start?
Well, I swore I would never do a costume superhero,
Yeah.
because I kind of don't, I'm not big into that. Like I used to be when I was younger, I was like, oh yeah, let's do something like, Image Comics or whatever. But
Sure.
I kind of grew out of it because like I not grew out of it, but got burned out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like it never had that same appeal as, doing something cool, but when I came up with Doc Salem, I wanted to do like I'm also a comic collector, and I want to do something that was kind of a love letter to the golden age and silver age comics, but not really like kind of a cracked like superhero, but based in horror. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, so it's basically Doc Salem's not really a costume superhero. He's more of a, I don't know, like he's horror based, like he does wear a costume,
sure.
of course, but it's more like a lab suit rather than a costume. It's a uniform rather than a costume. It's
I'd say like he's kind of a monster himself, right?
He is actually. He's actually Dr. Frankenstein. So actually, if you want to play that video, I don't know if you got sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll explain pretty much everything, and then we can go over all the other stuff.
Yeah, I should be able to play this. Let me drop this down here. No, but that's the thing that I like about Doc Salem is he's not a superhero. He's more like a monster hunter and a monster himself.
Yeah, I wouldn't call him an anti-superhero. Like it goes a little bit deeper than that. I'll explain it to you after we watch the videos.
Sure. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Imagine it's an unholy creation. The world, of course, remembers the monster, not the man.
Can't make it bigger.
You having a boomer moment.
There's more to it. Sometimes the monster is the man. This is the story of Dr. Salem, Monster Hunter. Dr. Victor Frankenstein endures life-threatening wounds inflicted by his very own creation. His trusty assistant Ivor injects him with the elixir of life, which puts him in a state of suspended animation. When he finally awakens, many years have passed and times have changed. The world that he knew,
I can share it if you want. You want me to share it?
It's just not expanding.
Victor Frankenstein finds that he is a wanted man due to the devastation his creation had wrought. To make amends for his transgressions, Victor assumes the guise of Dr. Salem and hunts down rogue monsters. This new and exciting series, created by artist and writer Preston Asevedo, is a 52-page graphic novel that combines Lovecraftian horror with Mary Shelley's Frankenstein to give you a fresh new look into the world of classic monsters. So join the Doc Salem army and help Doc Salem bring peace and balance to the world, one monster at a time. Thank you for your support.
So,
awesome, man.
So one of my favorite movies when I was growing up was, Frankenstein, like the original black and white Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. And the reason being is because, like, I grew up in like a, not a good situation. So it was like a lot of abuse and shit like that. But it was so I was like, I guess like a lot of people who are, I'm guessing a lot of people who are into comics, like when you don't have a foundation for morality at your home, you look for it other places. And for me, I found it in like the Justice League cartoons and shit like that. And because I never discovered comics until way later. But another thing, because of that, like good and evil, like as far as like, the Dracula and stuff like that, didn't really appeal to me, but Frankenstein's monster did. And the reason being is because there's no real bad guy in there. It's a big misunderstanding. You know what I'm saying? Like, Frankenstein himself wasn't evil. Frankenstein, like the doctor, like Dr. Frankenstein wasn't evil. He was basically out there trying to cure death. Like something happened so traumatic.
It's a man of science.
To go out there and try to cure death. And everybody's like, you can't do that. That's sacrilegious, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know, and he never listened. He was going to do what he wanted to do because he knew what it was always meant for him to do that. So,
yeah.
And then when he created his creation, like Frankenstein, the monster, he put a 4-year-old's brain inside this gigantic body, this powerful body, and it turned on him. And instead of Frankenstein, like, being a parent, he wasn't a parent to this creature. The creature was like, he was on his own. He had to learn, good and evil on his own. But so it appealed to me in that way, so when I decided to do, like every project I do has a little bit of, that story in it, like, especially like Rockabilly Road Trip, I mean, the Bride of Frankenstein is basically, Nikki the Pipes, pastor, and, but with Doc Salem, I didn't want to tell the story that everybody else tells with Frankenstein. I want to tell the story of Victor von Frankenstein and how his journey, started and ended. And, so yeah, in Doc Salem, Victor von Frankenstein gets injured by his monster, and he's in such a bad way that he's on the brink of death when Igor comes along and injects him with Frankenstein's elixir of life, but Igor's Igor. He's not a mad scientist. He's none of that. He's an assistant. And instead of exposing him to electricity, he just puts him on a slab and lets him heal. So Dr. Frankenstein spends decades in his healing sleep. And when he finally wakes up, it's a brand new world, and Igor's not young Igor anymore. He's this old, decrepit man. And Doc Salem's changed forever with, during that sleep, his body went through massive amounts of changes. He's bulkier. He is the monster now. And, but because his original monster, did such a number on society, like the name Frankenstein is outlawed. So he can't go by Frankenstein anymore. He has to choose a new name. So he chooses Doc Salem, as his disguise. And he always wears a mask because, he's horribly disfigured or whatever. And he goes out and he tries to make amends for all the bad that he did. So he's, battling all these, Lovecraftian beasts. And that's another thing too. Something he did with breaking the laws of life and death, weakened the walls between realities. And now you have these Lovecraftian monsters coming over to our side.
Awesome.
And that's why.
Yeah. Look at this guy. This guy's so cool.
Well, that's Dagon. I made him look a lot like Cthulhu in the face, but he's, but that's one thing that always appealed to me about Lovecraft is the monster, his gallery of monsters, like they're all gods and sub-gods and stuff like that, different species.
It's so grand.
Yeah, absolutely. And so there's going to be more, like at the upper, like the final monster he has to battle in this volume is the Gug, and the Gug, I've changed a lot of stuff with the with Lovecraftian, his monsters. Like if you go all the way up where they had the Hell Dusitsu, like they have one of the sketch pages right there. It's right there. Yes. So that's the Gug.
Yeah.
So the monster mob, which is this mob that consists of all the different fractions of monsters in the city, that actually run the underground. They summon this Gug, and the Gug comes. It's insanely. It's a kaiju basically, but on its back, he's got these boils, and the boils burst to give birth to the gas, and the gas, So when Doc Salem comes along and he's got to come defeat this one, I'm not going to give too much away because, it's in the book. You guys have to read the book, get the book, and you'll see what's going on. But it turns out it's like this book is all action. There's no sitting around anywhere in this book.
It looks like it, man. Yeah.
And so I tried to give a well-rounded story with a plot, a subplot, and a ton of monsters. So you're not going to be disappointed with this issue. And
how many pages is the issue?
And that's this one's going to be 52 pages because I upped the page count. At first I was going to give an ash can away, but then I was like, no, I don't really want to do an ash can. You know what? I'm just going to up the page count. So plus on the first campaign, we wasn't doing a crossover. Now we're doing a crossover, and also I'm introducing a new character in this one. It's going to be like an epilogue, called, and his name's Gary the Hell Knight. Plus the Lit Devil did a 1-page non-panel story for this one, and it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
that sounds cool.
A completely self-contained story. It's pretty badass. And then, of course, we have the prologue with the crossover. And that's going to be like maybe I think it's 3 or 4 pages at the end of the book. So, yeah, this book has a lot for what you're paying for. You're going to definitely dig it, and you kind of need it to keep up with the crossover. So,
yeah, for sure. Now, are you doing the letters on this as well?
Yeah, I'm doing the. Yeah, I like playing with.
I really like this lettering. No, yeah, lettering is so fun, and just to get more creative on the page and lead the eye around. Like, I love this grr sound effect from the monster here. With the splatter around it. I love doing stuff like that.
Well, one thing I love about lettering is like you can give the character a voice by changing the font, and changing the word balloons and stuff like that. So like if you notice, like Dagon's word balloons are much more raw, like, and distressed than Doc Salem's. And his type is more, like he's yelling and he's got this gravelly voice. And that's one thing I love about doing lettering is that you can have more fun with it, and give a more well-rounded book. Did you guys do that with Magic Cop? Did you use any type of lettering for the werewolf or word balloons?
Yeah, so for different characters, so we have a character in it. I can pull it up right here. His name is Bone Daddy-O, and he's the bad guy. He's a skeleton man, but he's also like Jamaican. He's from the islands, so he talks in a specific way. I actually changed the way he talked too after hearing Black Daddy of War Campaign talk, because he's has a specific accent like that, and instead of saying I, he says me. Which I really, really dug. So I'll blow it up here. Let's see. You guys able to see this? But so you can see.
Oh, nice. Talks here. Yeah, I dig that.
He's got a special speech bubble, like no one else has that, glowing purple. He's got a little stroke around the letters that are purple too, and then he speaks in like his different accent and stuff. So it was really fun doing him. And in the Lost pages as well, there's some characters like Crimstone, the big, monstrous, like 90s character. I created a whole font for him and created his own speech bubbles. So, yeah, I love doing that, giving characters their own voice, for sure.
Yeah, it's boring just to copy paste from the script, like you want to have more fun with it. And also, this is something interesting too. Like if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, I'm also offering the mashup pieces I did, like the Doc Salem and the Magic Cop Doc Salem. Yeah, and Yeah, those are also available.
And Wart the Wizard. We got Vincent from Blood Hunt.
Yeah. Me and Sim are also planning on one shot for next year. Vince.
I heard, man, that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
So this is a character that you're gonna be putting out for a while. Then you have ideas for him down the line.
I'm pretty obsessive when it comes to stuff like that. Like, and honestly, like I tell everybody, like Doc Salem was a story that was always there. It was just waiting for me to get good enough to go ahead and put it to paper, And so this is, this is it. I think, I mean, I'm ready, I guess.
Yeah. No, for sure, man. I love that because you have some roots with this character. You've been thinking about him for a long time. Yeah. And to me, as a writer, that lets me know that you really know the character and you know what he's going to do in different situations. You know how he's going to talk and react to different things in this world that you've built. So that's, in my head, that's the time when you need to put this stuff out there, is when you have a good relationship with that character.
Yeah, that, and like in the next volume, I'm introducing Frankenstein's monster. And because you can't have, it's not cool if you don't have Frankenstein versus Frankenstein. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
But here's the thing, like, I didn't want to do just Frankenstein's monster where he's like this dumb animal, or anything like that. What you have to understand is that Frankenstein's monster disappeared in the 1800s. While Frankenstein was asleep all the way until the 21st century, Frankenstein's monster was around and growing as a character, all that time. So when he does reemerge, he's going to come from a place of power. Like, he may be the leader of a country, he may be a super successful businessman or something like that, but he's definitely going to come from a place of power. And his brain was that of a child's brain. So now he's been learning all this time. And because of the way he was raised, well, not raised, the first thing that clicked in his head was survival. So, and Doc Salem is stuck in the 1800s. Like, he never grew as a character, he's growing now that he's awake. So he talks proper, but he's, he's cracked because of from the the trauma of being killed and being brought back by the elixir and stuff like that. So he's kind of, if you like, picture it as if he's like Batman from the serial back in the 60s, but he's homicidal, like he has these moments where he just opens fire and anything in his way gets killed. You know what I'm saying? And he, there's a line in the script where he's like, they say death changes a person, where Doc Salem's narrating to himself. And he's like, they say death changes a person. And Doc Salem's like out there with both barrels, is blowing this creature's head apart. And it's a close up of him. And he goes, I'm inclined to agree. So it's, it's
that's
pretty...
awesome. I love the fact that he's kind of like ripped out of time. Watching your other interviews and stuff, I never really got that from it, but I think that's a really cool story aspect where it's like, okay, it's an action book and it's a monster book, but this character is not in the environment he's used to. So that has an effect on him. Everything's changed around him in an instant when he's been in this healing sleep for decades.
And that's another thing too. Like, Igor was always watching over him, and when Doc Salem awakens and he's and Igor's like, think this happened, this you can't go by Frankenstein anymore or whatever. Igor's super old, and he has a moment where he collapses. He's having like this heart attack or something like that, and Doc Salem realizes that the lump on Igor's back wasn't ever a hump. It was always a tumor, a malignant tumor. And so he has to make a choice. So he decides to go ahead. He can't. The elixir's gone. There's no more elixir of life. Like, Igor used the last of it on Doc Salem. So there's no comebacks after that. That's it. And so what he does is he does basically what he did to Frankenstein. He transfers Igor's brain into a child's body, but the child is brain dead, so he puts the body's still viable, but the brain's gone, so he puts his brain in there. So that was, I like story elements like that because it creates more it gives the character more character, I guess. So Igor, with the same way as Doc Salem still stuck in the 1800s, Igor's this old man with centuries under his belt, and he's in this little kid's body, so it's this weird dynamic between all of them, and
really,
I think it's going to create more depth into the story.
No, that's sweet, dude. Yeah, I didn't know that before. I think those are really good story elements to point out, because it adds depth to the story. It's not just an action book.
Yeah.
I dig that,
man.
So yeah, what's up?
No, I mean, doing streams, like you loosen up a little bit.
Sure,
I think
man.
that I think I wasn't able to like get it across exactly because I was so fucking nervous when I first started doing this stuff, dude. It's like,
I mean, we've both been doing this for a while now. We definitely loosen up and know what to point out now, which is good. It's all learning experience, brother.
So
yeah, sweet. So you're actually offering the crossover cover, and this will be the regular book. It'll have everything in it, but it has that crossover cover on it.
Yeah, well, what I did was that was a stretch goal cover, so I offered it out there. But any of the covers you can, with the exception of the raw cover, because that was exclusive to all the pre-signups. But any of these things you can add on to your purchase, like your perk. So you like if you decide that you wanna get the I'm a collector perk, but you're really not crazy about all the other color covers, but you do like the crossover cover, you can add that to your purchase. So it's very selective. Like I made it to where you have complete freedom on what you're going to get and what you don't want. You know what I'm saying? So it's and then also if you want all 4 covers with the exception of the crossover covers, you can get the what is it called? The Doc Salem Fan Club, and that's $100. So you get 4 covers, the 4 collectors covers, and you also get a decoder card, to decode the messages that I'm sticking in there, and it's also doubles as a fan club card. So
you're still doing the decoder stuff.
Yeah, I love that kind of shit, dude. I'm not.
That's something I haven't seen in any comics. I mean, in the last 60 years. So.
It's something that was in the Captain Midnight comics in the Golden Age, and I thought that was the coolest thing. The only thing is that I think they had a decoder badge that the Captain Midnight stuff put out, dude, and it was like this metal thing that came in a cereal box or some shit like that, and you can turn it and decode the stuff in the Captain Midnight books, so that's crazy. But I was like, that's so much fun. You know what I'm saying?
No, that is super fun. I think more people should be doing that, especially if they have that old-timey Golden Age feel to it. And I think this is the perfect comic for it. Especially you have a passion for it, and it shows. So people love that stuff. And you're selling this original page from the book for $150.
Yeah. I got.
That's awesome.
I do everything traditional, so
I
got a ton of pages left over that I'm just looking to get rid of. So if you want an original page, it's $150, and
definitely, guys. If you are collectors, I know there's a bunch of collectors out there. Traditional art is the way to go. So hop on that. That's a great price for that.
Well, there's so little of it. There's nobody's doing traditional art anymore. They're all doing digital, which is a shame too, because it's killing the market.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then you have these the little crossover covers or promo pieces as well for sale. Those are great. And then tell me about the big painting.
So somebody pointed out that I don't have any really high end tiers. It's all just very affordable stuff. So what I came up with what I came up with was now this is a commission. So it's pretty much anything you want on this canvas, I'll do, but it's a 24 by 36 6-inch canvas, which is the size of a movie poster,
Yeah.
And it's a high-end canvas. And you send me what you like. If you like, I want to get, Phil from Zay Comics on it, dressed in a pink tutu or whatever. I'd be totally down to do it. Yeah.
We got the Hall in the chat saying drink more Ovaltine. Hail, brother.
Absolutely. I don't know what that means.
That's the decoder from Christmas Story.
All right, sweet. Yeah, but so I put this tier in there. I don't honestly think anybody's going to take advantage of it, although it's a pretty fair deal, you know what I'm saying, like for a painting that size. And
custom commission, man, of any character or me in a pink tutu.
Absolutely. I'm leaving that pretty wide open too, so if you want me to reproduce a Frazetta, I can do that.
For sure. No, that's I've seen your paintings. They're the real deal, man. I love it. Shades of Frazetta and Bisley all over the place with
dude,
that.
I'm totally down with Frazetta and Bisley. Like those guys. I've never hung out with Frazetta, but I did get a chance to hang out with Bisley, and it was like a dream. Not talking shop or anything like that, just drinking.
That's a lot of I hear. It's him drinking with people. When I met him at a convention, and he was drinking with fans at his Wizard World table. He had like a Jack, and he was offering it to people. He's the coolest guy. I got him to do an original Lobo for me, and he was just amazing. Great with fans, and just willing to make the best.
If you're another artist at the show, he gives you a deep discount. You know what I'm saying? So, which is awesome. Like he signed my Judge Death painting. And he was like, "This is fucking great, approved by Bisley." I was like, "Dude, that's awesome." I was like, "I'm not ever selling this ever," But it's even better. Like we were staying at the same hotel as him, So it was like, so we were seeing him outside. I had a bottle of Crystal Skull vodka. We're just passing the skull around. It was awesome.
He's an art god, man. He's one of the best. I love that guy.
Yeah.
But if you guys dig Golden Age comics, monsters, tentacles,
definitely,
and if you dig Preston's art, then definitely hop on Doc Salem. He's funded, so it's coming out. So all we have to do now is just make sure we get it. So back the book. And also follow him and check out everything else he's doing. He does awesome paintings. If you guys, need a cover or something, he does amazing covers as well. I don't know how wide open your schedule is, Preston. But
I have a couple of covers that I have to do for. I just finished one for. What was it? It was Sovereign Wolf, and I'm working on one for Peregrine, and for Comicsgate people, like I got a special price for all those guys, so it's no big deal. But also I haven't been on the net so much lately, like pushing anything because I've been working. But after I'm gonna be around until Doc Salem ends, and then I gotta go back into hiding and get more work done. But
dude, it's hard for the artist, man, doing double duty with promotion and keeping the campaign updated and doing art. It's really difficult. I give props to guys like you and Vinny who are just out there pushing it and producing the books as well. That is some difficult stuff to do.
Oh, it's a pain in the ass. But it's worth it. Like having the books finished, completed, and holding them in your hand while you mail them out to people is fucking awesome, dude.
It's so cool, man. So guys, check this out. And then Preston, I wanted to talk a little about the Lost Pages before we wrap up, and then we could
go for it.
Do our sign-ups. Thanks, brother. Let's see here. Yeah. So guys, if you have not yet, sign up for the Lost Pages. We are launching May 29th, and that's our solid date. We're gonna have a bunch of stuff for you, an awesome trailer, this week we're going to be showing off the cover by an amazing, legendary artist, one of my favorites. So, keep the social media on Twitter to see that. And if you sign up, we're going to show you guys the cover probably a day before everybody through the newsletter. Also, that allows you to get a free trading card with the campaign. So if you back it, you'll get a kind of a jam piece trading card where each of the artists on each character draws their own character on the card. Kind of something different we're doing for everybody. And yeah, check it out. It's a book basically about a bunch of different heroes in one universe, kind of our connected universe of heroes. Each character and story is drawn by a different artist, and they have a different style to them, different themes. And it's all held together by this homeless man, the hobo, who has this magical book that these stories are written in. So check it out. We got the Howl Comics in the chat who's doing some amazing art for us. He's doing the Masquerade story, who's kind of Preston, also like a Golden Age character, like that throwback Shadow, the Green Hornet.
Here, reminds me of Grim Jack. Actually, you ever read Grim Jack's story?
Oh, dude, that was he was kind of like that color scheme was kind of an inspiration for his story.
Yeah,
and
I love Grim Jack, dude. Like that's that's one of my favorite characters. Very like Grimjack doesn't get enough attention, but this definitely reminds me. It's got that swashbuckling type of look to it.
Yeah, the puffy sleeves and stuff like that. So we have a lot of cool stuff to show off for it, and we're getting a lot done. And so like when we launch with the campaign, you're going to have a lot of pages to actually read through. It's going to be lettered and stuff. So yeah, it's going to be awesome. We're trying to get the turnaround time probably out by October. So putting a lot into it, a lot of trading cards. So get on the mailing list, please, everybody. And then we also have shirts as well. We'll look at Preston shirts in a second, but these are the Zaid comic shirts. If you guys go over to Etsy.com, Zaid Workshop, you can get yourself a Magic Cop shirt.
I love the Magic Cop shirt. That's awesome. The one with the
my brother designed it to look like his jacket, so you can actually be Magic Cop.
It's even got the badge at the bottom. That's crazy.
It's got the badge down there. So if you guys want to support us as well, you already have Magic Cop. This is another great way to hit us up and help us out with some awesome apparel, as well as some Magic Cop covers. We're adding stuff all the time to this, so keep an eye on that. And then, Preston, this is I wanted to show off some awesome apparel you got.
Yes.
Look at that. You got socks.
Doc Salem socks.
Oh my God. Booty leggings.
Absolutely. I love those, actually. I'm going to get my old lady a pair of those.
Yeah, man. Oh, look at that. It's got the 6 a.m. little guy in there.
Absolutely.
That's so cool. Yeah, 6 a.m. Comics is great with his little guys. We actually had him do all the characters for the Lost Pages, and it's going to be a sticker set that you can get with
nice.
It.
Yeah. I wanted to get him to do a backup story for Doc Salem, but he was just way too busy. And I was like, that's all right.
Yeah, he's doing like ash cans and stuff for people now, which is really cool. He's actually made all of those little designs into, now he's got a career with it because everybody wants him. So put your stuff out there. Yeah.
Like I want to back Tug's book, but then I was like, but now 6 a.m.'s doing the ash can. So now I just can't back the bug. Now I got to get the ash can.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, dude.
Man, no, that's cool. Tug's book is awesome too. You guys should definitely check that out. Battle Brick Road. This month is just chock full of amazing Comicsgate books out there. So stay tuned to the channel because we'll be talking about more of those in the future. And Preston, we're gonna head off here. Where can people find you, brother?
Nikki the Pipe, Doc Salem, Nikki the Pipe on at Nikki the Pipe on Twitter. Preston Asevedo on Instagram. Art of Preston Asevedo on Facebook. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Sweet, man. Sweet. Yeah.
And also Playgirl. I've done a centerfold in Playgirl.
Oh, Hey, that's the you and Vinny, right? Together with that one?
Absolutely. Yeah, we did a
Hail, hail, Vinny.
Hail
Thanks
Vinny.
for coming out, Preston. And thanks everybody for watching. We do these all the time, so hit that like button and subscribe. Ring that bell for notifications so you know when we are going live.